All right, folks, once again, let's escape to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism, space!
I hope some of our listeners get that reference.
Fuck, you gotta warn me before you do this shit.
Wait, Fish, you already know that's not the case, because what do you think Vox did?
Shut up, Vox. Don't make me breach your vac suit again. It could be a rage, that's all I'm saying.
The capitalism part stays in. Anyways, move along.
I mean, now that we're all gassed up, what's Vox's suit looking like?
He did the great stuff, like expansion foam / flex tape solution.
Oh my god.
It won't work in space, but it'll work in atmosphere, so it's fine.
That's all we need it for now.
All right, the party has refreshed their oxygen. Everyone has tested negative for mushroomitis. It's time for us to step back out into the cold, dark, unforgiving nightmare. I mean, unless you guys want to hang around and read, like, the logs or something.
I mean, we got the ship crew doing that while we do the exploring.
Yeah.
I would hope they'd alert us if they found something important.
Yeah, they'll alert us, like, after we're already aware.
90% of those logs are important, so I hope you're ready for constant alerts.
I mean, that's fine, but, like, they can't go anywhere. We can.
That's true.
Can we ask them to look for specific things?
You certainly can. The most qualified people to actually sift through the medical documents are you guys.
Right.
But
Well, we can do that while we're in the vehicle to our destination.
Well,
okay, fair
you
enough.
guys can do it. I'll be driving.
Well, we both have medicine, so it works. It just works.
Right. Hey, where'd we leave the ATV? Not the ATV.
At the charge station.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I can't wait to go back into fungus zombie territory.
Well, worst case scenario, we have the corporal fire off the railgun on the other side and then have him yeet himself over to it, the other end.
The full slow-mo Max Payne yeet.
It's a Gauss rifle. It is of a different but similar technology to a railgun. Proceeds to give you the technical specifications and differentiations between a railgun and a Gauss rifle.
You're just basically speaking Vox's porn right now. It's like technical manual shit. That's good shit.
Oh, God. I was already distanced from Vox. I
There
am
we
now
go.
6 feet further from Vox.
I was starting to worry because, like, this was going to be the first Broken Lords game that didn't have a pervert in it somewhere, and, well, here we are. So.
You were the one talking about breaching Snidely's vac suit the whole time.
I don't count,
Yes,
Lydia.
you do. You count.
I need a PC or NPC pervert, and that is it.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so we are on the trail to, 1, get better equipment so we can do better testing. 2, figure out what the heck the carving station is.
If I remember, we read that it was the first outpost on this planetoid.
That is correct.
And something, we don't know what, happened, which caused the project to abandon said site and come here.
Right.
Yep.
Well, hopefully it's nothing as bad as, zombie fungus.
I'm going to expect the worst and hope for the best, as they say.
There is
Yeah.
a reason why they abandoned it in the first place, after all.
Maybe there's a dragon.
No, there is probably no dragon.
I love the probably. The probably tacked on there is
Wow.
perfect.
Have we all packed a lunch? Are we ready to go?
That was rife with human suffering, Zoom. Good job.
I method act my character in the shower. I stare stoically at the bathroom wall.
Alrighty, so are you guys exiting the airlock?
Yeah.
Are we suited up again?
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as we're ready.
Well, that's to be seen.
The crew exits the airlock, the door seals behind you, and once again you are all alone in that perpetually dark, cold, silent planet.
So, ethereal voice in the sky that dictates our fate and future.
Yeah.
I think we should start going to the carving station. Is this traversable by foot, or...
You are going to need the ATV for that, yes.
Alright. The corporal turns to the rest of his stalwart companions. Are we ready to go?
Yes.
As we'll ever be. Eyes on the mission, right?
Yes, until we get off, and then we have a good beer and forget that this ever happened.
Beer.
So Vox recalls from the data he collected at the weather station that the Carvings camp is approximately 80 kilometers from Candling Station.
All right. Well, we'll worry about that once we get there, and if there's no fungus around.
All right. So, who's the best driver out of all of us? I think that's
It's
Vox,
Klein.
right?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. I shuffle over and let Klein take the driver's seat then?
Yeah, you are able to make your way over to the ATV without incident. There doesn't appear to be any of those things around at the moment.
Cool.
Device that the corporal cobbled together, can it detect things approaching now? Were we able to establish
No.
that?
Nope, it entirely works off of samples on a slide.
Okay. Maybe that can be a later project, if necessary.
Yeah.
Everybody wearing their seatbelts?
You also have science, right, Klein?
I do not.
Oh, you do not?
I
Oh,
don't.
all right. Well, if Klein has that thought process out loud, then the corporal will have some insight on the idea.
Yeah, probably. Does that insight involve rolling a science roll?
No. The corporal would imagine that in order to have a setup where you could remote scan for the infection, you would need an actual medical facility.
Oh, so that's out of scope.
In your current situation, probably, yeah.
We do not have the sufficient facilities for this. He just kind of shrugs. I wish I could have a whole research lab.
Me too.
Wouldn't mind that flamethrower.
Why not both?
But this probably will not happen. As you say, punch it. We need to go to the carving station.
I'm going to drive respectfully fast, not aggressively, because crashing is bad.
Yeah, cruising speed. It's
Yeah.
going to take you close to an hour to get there.
Wow. We'll have time to actually listen to a song or something.
We don't need to have our helmets on when we're in the vehicle, do we?
Not if you
Does it not have its own air
not if you
filtration?
don't want to.
I mean,
Did we not just go through the merry-go-round of using the airlock? Because question marks.
Yeah.
The ATV
Yeah.
is sealed, but yeah, that's up to you.
Does that mean I have to go first again?
no, I was just making a suggestion. If you guys don't want to do that, we don't have to do that. I'll take my helmet off if everybody's comfortable with that. That would be no.
If I'm being honest, it would be a little weird right now. Just a
Getting
little.
weird.
All right.
Yeah.
The corporal blankly stares at both of you and then stares at Vox. Might as well. We do not know, and you've been breached, so...
All right. I'm going to start taking a look at the medical records.
All right. Like I said, you have almost an hour before you get there, so you actually can make some capital D discoveries from the information. You're able to determine from Dr. Mill's research, among other things, that he believes the infection progresses in an 8 to 12 hour cycle. There seems to be some variance. One of the infected people from the stabbing spree that the astrogator went on did devolve rapidly, but that seems to be outside the norm. The most important thing that you can find as you dig in, and the doctor comes to this realization fairly early on in the logs, he thinks that there's something in the atmosphere, in the soil, in the plant life, and in the insect life on the planet that is actively resistant to, if not inimical to, the infection.
That's good news.
So a potential cure? Or...
There is something about DKB1 alpha that prevents this infection from spreading the way that it would otherwise. The doctor postulates that given enough time, he might be able to use the local plant life to synthesize a treatment or even a cure for the infection.
Any base components he's considering right now?
He hasn't been able to isolate a specific compound, but once he started looking for it, he did realize that there were chemical strains, there were compounds present in the soil and in all life on the planet and even in the air itself.
Okay.
He also briefly mentions that when the 5A7 arrived, they seem to have brought the infection with them.
We already knew that, though, I thought.
I don't think it was confirmed.
Raises a question about our new friend, doesn't it?
I'm sure she's
Yep.
fine.
Perhaps, Vox, if you dug into the captain's logs, there might be more information on that.
Yeah, well, I'll take a look at them. Yeah,
I mean, granted, if she were infected, she would have fungal exploded a
since
long time
become a-
ago. Yeah.
unless she's in evolved form.
Eh.
We do not know if there is a on switch, you would call it?
A trigger?
Yes. Or maybe they can control it. Pretend to be people, and then he lets it trail off.
So yeah, the captain's log.
It was revealed to the base captain that the 5A7, upon coming out of jump, found themselves in a debris field that seemed to be orbiting around the planet. When the crew of the 5A7 did some scanning on this debris, they were able to determine that it was the remains of an ancient spaceship.
Mm.
When I say ancient, I mean belonging to the ancients.
What?
A very technologically advanced race that kind of ran things around the galaxy long before humans even made it to space.
Great. Space Zerg.
They were very excited about this find because things of that nature are incredibly rare. And so they hopped in their vac suits, did some EVA, and acquired some remnants of this ship and brought them aboard to study them. It is much later in the captain's log that it comes about that the astrogator, while handling this equipment after getting it back on board the 5A7, cut herself on it. And that seemed to be the thing that made her sick.
Oh, okay.
Space tetanus is a bitch.
Well, that would be very good news if it's just through blood. If that ends up
Did
being the
you
case.
get cut?
No.
When you get back to the doctor's logs, he makes a note that if that was the source of the infection, it is highly important to note that whatever this entity is, that means it can survive in vacuum.
For an extended period of time.
Possibly thousands of years, likely thousands of years in this example.
Joy!
No.
The doctor, as things are getting worse and the other patients at the base are getting more sick in the logs, he's becoming more and more afraid of what could happen with this infection off-planet if it made it somewhere else. Because if, as his research suggests, the very nature of Alpha fights this infection because of its unique composition, what would this infection be like on a different planet?
You know, this ain't sounding like a naturally occurring fungus.
Yeah.
This is.
What happened to those ancients?
Yeah.
Is it known?
Nobody knows what happened to the ancients.
I don't know. Sounded like a plague of fungus.
Or what if it's a biological weapon? What if the ancients
Well, that-
stumbled into an unfathomable opponent, a nemesis in the great beyond that we can't even begin to comprehend? Klein has a specific look on her face that only comes up when she's talking about comic books deeply.
Or the ancients themselves are the fungus.
Huh. You think they'd be more sentient seeming?
I do not know. Perhaps they piggyback off other people's consciousness.
But even then, it's not like any of the zombies were trying to talk to us. Or were they?
Maybe they need to have a certain amount of mass before they can start talking.
I believe we're out of the realm of science and into the science fiction at this point.
Yeah.
Therefore, it is not useful.
Anything else in the